Welcome to Sports Talk with the Kowboy.
Welcome, and thanks for riding with the Kowboy. Well, we've got a lot to do on the first show of this season with football starting today at One Buck Place. Training camp officially started today. But first, I want to shout out to a super fan up in Georgia, Chris. And I'm going to send you one of these Cowboy Cups, courtesy of the show. As a super fan of this show, I appreciate your support from the start, Chris. Now we're going on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the first day of training camp of the 2023 campaign. And had reported. Every single player on the roster was there. They're mandatorily obliged to be there, all 32 teams, for the next month. They are in preseason training camp. It's mandatory. It's not voluntary. So all has signed in, and today was the first practice. All went well. Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, John Wolford at quarterback position for the Bucs. The new offensive line with Luke Geineke at right tackle, Cody Monken at the right guard, Jensen at center, Fielder at left guard, and our new left tackle, Tristan Wirfs. There's your offensive line 2023 style. Big breaking Buck news, 11-year veteran Will Golston, who on this show we have said many times we needed to re-signed the day before training camp for an estimated $3 million plus incentives. So Will Golston, the rock of the run game defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has re-signed, and he is in training camp as this show is being taped. So all the players that the Bucs wanted to be into camp have showed up for camp. No news on any great events of the first day of training camp, but training camp has began in the NFL. And we're only a few weeks from preseason football, where the Bucs will take on the Steelers in the first preseason game. They will take on the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota for the regular season opener. But this is a time when football is now intense. They're together, 90 men, 55 will make it, and the rest will go home. So it's what we all as football fans look forward to, and it has began. So there's no any immediate news out of the Bucs on any of the other players. I think Shaquille Barrett is unable to be in the actual physical practices right now, unable to participate, but he is there. Russell Gage is unable to participate, but it is there. So those are two starters that are not participating, but everyone else participating. I'll keep you posted here at Sports Talk with the Kowboy. This is your go-to source for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers football program. As you can see, this is the 76ers. You can't be more Bucs than out of this program. There's no such thing. So if you want the news of what's going on with the Bucs in this season, each and every game, tune in here to Sports Talk, and we'll give you an up-to-date, up-to-the-minute, for real analysis and information. So as far as the other camps are concerned, all have opened. There's not been any great holdouts. Davin Cook is still out. As we know, everyone else is in camp. There's been no Shaq Barrett, of course, on our camp, unable to perform. There are some players that are unable to perform, but they are at camp. So no news much more than that tonight on football as far as the Bucs and the rest of the camps are concerned. By next show, we'll have some information on the actual practices, what's taken place. Hopefully nobody gets injured. Remember last year, Ryan Jensen, second day, knee blown out for the year. These things can happen when you're out there practicing. So we hope nothing like that happens for our Buccaneers this year, and everybody comes out healthy. And that's what all the other teams feel like too. So it's very, very tough time, but it's very, very important time to get in shape, get your teammates together. You're living around them 24/7. You're not at home with your children. You're not at home with your favorite animals, pets, and other things. You're at a hotel complex with your team. So that shows you the intensity. So we'll keep you posted. And now we're going to move on to the Tampa Bay Rays. They beat the Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins last night in a good game there at Tropicana Field. They've been in a slump before the All-Star break and afterwards. They fell out of first place. The Baltimore Orioles in first place in the American League East, but we are in second. We're still a great chance to win the division, but we have to get some momentum. Trade deadline, August the 1st for Major League Baseball players. If you're going to be traded, you got to the 1st of August and it's over. And the Buccaneers are looking for a pitcher and they're looking for a hitter. And I think they got their eye on Marcus Stroman of the Chicago Cubs as a pitcher, and Cody Bettinger as a left-handed bat that can play right field. I think that's what we're going to do with the Rays. That's breaking news with the Sports Talk with the Cowboy tonight. That's what I think is going to happen with the Rays. But the Rays won last night. As this show's being aired at an hour, the first pitch of the second game of that series opens up. I hope we can win that game. We need to win that game. The Miami Marlins is a good ball club down there in Miami. They're playing some good ball down there in Miami. Their baseball team, they're above 500, but they're playing solid baseball. It's a good game last night. Some good pitching, and we won. And we had some good hitting, timely hitting. That's what we need to get us out of this slump that the Rays have been in. So we'll keep you posted on the Rays, and we'll keep following the trade deadline. But that's what we're saying: Stroman, Bellinger. From the Cubs, both of them. And that's who we think the Rays are going to go out and try to have from now to make that World Series run. There's a team that's going to sell players, and there's a team that's going to buy players. And this is the time, August the 1st, when you're a baseball team, whether you figure I'm going to try to win the World Series or I'm not. And so, the ones that are out buying, expecting to win it. The ones that are selling don't expect that they're going to be there. So, we'll keep you posted on baseball and what's going on out there with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now we're going to NASCAR, and this week at Pocono Speedway, Denny Hamlin won the race, but everyone's seen that he ran Kyle Larson into the wall on the last lap, and I've had a lot of questions after that race, comments, communications about what I thought about that, and I only say this, that Kyle Larson was run into the wall. It concerns me that they allow that kind of behavior to go on the racetrack. And even more, they didn't put a caution flag out when he did hit the wall. So that really bothers me with NASCAR. And it bothers me when anybody in NASCAR speaks up against NASCAR because they fine them for speaking up. And it was terrible. But that's for the news. Denny Hamlin won the race at Pocono. This week it'll be Richmond. And Michael McDowell is 16th place. He's the driver that I support. And he hasn't won a race, and he came in 20th this week. He had a car running up about 13th place, but he kept dropping back in the last pit cycle and came in 20th. He does run pretty good at Richmond, and if he can get a top 10, he can stay in that top 16. And that's what you want to do in the next 4 races, because if you take it in top 16, you go on to the NASCAR playoffs. So we'll keep you posted on NASCAR and what's going on with NASCAR this week at Richmond. We're going to go to college football. University of South Florida with Alex Golesh, the new head coach of the University of South Florida Bull football team. College team is out practicing as on all teams in training camp, and we're wishing Golesh and the Bulls well this year. They only won 1 game last year. They were 1-11, so they've only got to win 1 game to tie last year's record. So we're hoping that they have a good season. They start their year with Western Kentucky. We'd like to see a win. No news out there as far as what's going on. Gary Wilhannon will be the quarterback of the USF Bulls this year in the 2023 campaign. And we're going to, here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy, be prepared for USF football news weekly, okay, because it's coming. So all you USF Bull fans that will ask me if we're going to have full coverage this year, you have been told tonight you will be. USF Bulls will be featured during the college football season. So as far as the happenings in college football and in NASCAR, baseball and football is taken care of. There's a lot of other events going on, but we're going to now go to take the questions. And the first one tonight is from Tammy, and Tammy's in Mulberry, and Tammy wanted to know what I thought about the chances of Kyle Trask being the starting quarterback. Tammy, I think there's a great chance he could play. There's a lot of chance Baker Mayfield could get hurt. Who's coming in? So Kyle Trask is going to get his chance. He's going to get a lot of playing time, Tammy, in this preseason. There is no doubt you will see him a lot in preseason, a lot. I think Baker Mayfield is a starter because I think he's had more seat time and has taken a team to the playoffs. That's the reason why I think he'll get the nod. But who's to say he won't be hurt? Yes, Tammy, I think Kyle Trask will get his time this year to play some. Okay, thank you for your question. God bless you. The next one's from Pam, and Pam wanted to know what I thought about who the Braves would go get. in the trade deadline. And Pam, I just said Marcus Stroman of the Cubs and Cody Bellinger. You're renting these players is what you're doing. You're buying the rent of their contract. They prorate it. You're buying them from August, September, and October. You're buying them 3 months. That's what you're doing. And you're kind of renting the player, so to speak. So the Bucks could do this for about $15 million. I think it's within their reason to do it for $15 million. Kind of a little insurance policy. Not a great insurance policy, but a starter and a left-handed bat in the lineup when you're going to try to make a deep run in the World Series. And the last question is from Todd. And Todd wanted to know, again, what I thought about the Jaguars this year. And Todd, God bless you for being in Jacksonville. You gave us a question last year, and we called the Jacksonville Jaguars to make the playoffs. Nobody else did but Sports Talk with the Cowboy, Todd. And God bless you for your question, because you remembered we called the Jacksonville Jaguars making the playoffs last year, and they did. Todd, I think they've got a great team with Doug Peterson again this year. They won a playoff game, as you know. They played Kansas City to the last quarter last year. There's the same team, same coaches, same everything coming back. There's no reason for me to believe, Todd, that they cannot win again. And they almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Okay, so they already won a playoff game prior to that. So let's just say it like it is. It's a good team in Jacksonville. We said it last year here first. No one else said it. We called it, and we're saying it again, Todd. Take it to the bank. Your team's going a playoff contender. God bless you, Todd. Thank you for your question. DJX, what do you got for me tonight?
Well, Cowboy, you know what it is. Let's get right off into it, buddy. All right. After using Uber to get to camp, Steelers rookie Broderick Jones will try to ride solo at left tackle.
Well, Broderick Jones made it to camp. As long as he made it to camp, he could drive an electric scooter. As far as he made it through the door at the right time, he's not going to be fine. So God bless him for getting there. Right. He could have walked there if he'd wanted to. Just as long as he got there to the door by the time he had right. to be there. And he made it there, and I think he's got a chance.
He got there.
If the Steelers got him on their team, they expected he's going to get a chance to play.
Right. But they say he won't start camp with the first team.
Well, he don't need to start with camp with the first team. He's a raw rookie. Even though he's a big boy and he's a good, strong ball player, could be the greatest player in the world, he shouldn't go out there and take a veteran's job that's already played and been in the game.
Right. Don't make sense.
You got about 4.5 weeks every day, twice a day, to show them coaches you should be.
Right. Brock Purdy cleared to go to camp.
Brock Purdy's ready, and that is an absolute medical miracle that I'm kind of worried about DJX, because, listen, that elbow was tore in that last game against the Philadelphia Eagles before they went on the Super Bowl. They said the man would not be able to throw that ball until November.
Right.
And they went out and got Sam Darnold as an insurance policy so that he could play when Purdy couldn't play those first 5 or 6 games.
Yeah.
Purdy has now been cleared to go out to practice. Great, huge story, because Purdy now can go out there and participate. But I've been told that John Lynch, the general manager, they're not going to let him throw much. He's just going to, rehab that hand. You don't want him. The guy's 3 months ahead of schedule.
Get it in shape.
You're going to have to, go slow with this thing.
Yeah.
He can stand out there and run the plays without throwing the ball. He can have his hands down and just run the plays. He ain't got to throw the ball to everybody.
Right.
You don't. I'm sure they're going to let him have a little bit of throwing, because they're just not going to let him stand there and never throw. But don't overuse it.
Don't overuse him. Right.
I mean, you don't overuse it. It's good that he's out there. It's a great sign for the 49ers.
Exactly.
And I hope things go well, but it's a medical miracle that he's out there.
Exactly. All right. What you think about the Tyreek Hill incident at the arena?
The Marina incident in Miami is big for Tyreek Hill and the Miami Dolphins. I think they're a Super Bowl contender. I think they will win the East. All you people that go to other places and put down finances for this, follow me on this one. Miami Dolphins could be a Super Bowl contender. And you'll hear that before the first kickoff show here at Sports Talk with the Cowboy. We're going to call the 4 teams that's going to be in the championship game. One of them could be the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill's a big reason that is. He was in an incident down in Marina, some kind of an incident on a boat, rental of a boat or something. It's supposed to have been a verbal altercation. Police got called. The commissioner asked him what went on. He said there was no physical altercation. It was a verbal altercation. He had a bunch of his homies around him, and nobody hit nobody. But what happened now is there's a tape that surfaced in the last 24 hours from the Marina that shows he hit him in the back of the head.
Right.
Now, with further investigation, we find out that he offered him money not to make a report, yada, 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 yada. Where it goes, I don't know, but it is big news because if Commissioner Goodell decides to call Tyreek Hill into the NFL office up in New York and say, hey, man, under oath, you said you did not hit nobody. Now we got a video that you did. We might have to suspend you a game or two.
Right. Might be a different issue.
And on game day, that'll make a difference.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the boards. All right, West Point prepared Elijah Riley for adversity. Steelers now.
He's a West Point graduate. Most of your military academy, Air Force, Navy, and Army, West Point cadets do go into the military. They don't go play football. This young man was given an opportunity not to have to defer his military service to go play pro football.
Right.
He has been raised in the West Point way, in the military academy way, where they play chess before breakfast, they play chess before lunch, and they play chess before supper. And they're up at 5:30 and they run 3 miles every morning, every day in these military academies.
Right.
They're brought up to be officers in the United States military. They are trained professionals. So this young man going in to play for the Steelers shows you they've got a professional man there. He's not a boy like some of these coming out of the college that's been in the frat houses. This is a man that's been militarily trained to be an officer in the United States Army. And so he's going to be very acute, studious as far as studying, just morals to no extreme. They just don't, there's no such thing as bad morals in these academies. They are the best of the best. So they're getting the best of the best as a human being. And it's very great that he gets to defer his service to our in the country and play football professionally.
Right.
And then when it's over, go into the military. I think that's a great thing they started with.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. All right. I'm going to leave it off with this. Young athletes, football, basketball. We're talking about Bronny James now.
Right.
Do you think maybe it could be because of that bat?
Well, first of all, I know you, myself, and the show wishes the best for Bronny James and the James family. Okay, it's a tragedy that happened. Luckily, he was at USC, one of the greatest heart trauma hospitals in the world, and he was treated. And last I heard, he was in stable condition.
Yeah, good.
They do need to find out about the BAP. They need to have further studies on this.
A lot of studies on that.
There's been a lot of questions about it, and let's just say it like it is. We need to have studies, and we need to find the answer to what happened here. Which we really don't know.
Yeah,
and we understand privacy and all this kind of stuff. What I mean? But yeah, I feel that way.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave it off right there, Cowboy.
Well, thank you, DJX, and thank you for watching this show. Join us this season when you want in-depth information on sports of any kind. That's NASCAR, that is baseball, football, hockey, that's any sport, golf, whatever. Come to your Sports Talk with the Cowboy. Go with DJX and the Cowboy. We're going to keep it real with you. Get on the comments and get some questions in here. For you people that do this financially for a living, you have let me know that I've won you a lot of that finances over the last couple of years, and I'm sure you're tuning in to find that information out. So continue to follow the show so that you know what direction to go in your career, so to speak. God bless you. Thank you. Be kind to your neighbor. We need kindness in this world. Harshness is not needed in this world. We need kindness. Be good to each other. God bless you. Till next show, Cowboy out.